Assalamualaikum guys, kembali lagi bersama Sarjana Edan. Hari ini kita ingin mainkan The Stanley, sebutan The Stanley Parable. The Stanley Parable. Ini game itu lagi, game semacam game puzzle lagi, cuman ini banyak ending. Jadi kita tinggal pilih ending kayak gimana. Kencang banget suara gini. Ini ceritanya kita ini sebagai pegawai kantor. Loading.
This is the story of a man named Stanley. Stanley worked for a company in a big building where he was employee number 427. Employee number 427's job was simple. He sat at his desk in room 427 and he pushed buttons on a keyboard. Orders came to him through a monitor on his desk, telling him what buttons to push, how long to push them, and in what order. This is what employee 427 did every day of every month of every year. And although others might have considered it soul-rending, Stanley relished every moment that the orders came in, as though he had been made exactly for this job. And Stanley was happy. And then one day, something very peculiar happened. Something that would forever change Stanley. Something he would never quite forget. He had been at his desk for nearly an hour when he realized that not one single order had arrived on the monitor for him to follow. No one had showed up to give him instructions, call a meeting, or even say hi. Never in all his years at the company had this happened. This complete isolation. Something was very clearly wrong. Shocked, frozen solid, Stanley found himself unable to move for the longest time. But as he came to his wits and regained his senses, he got up from his desk and stepped out of his office.
Kita coba ending pertama. Belum pernah main sih, cuman kita ikutin naratornya. Kok kayak licin banget ya. Kita keluar.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean?
Ya, mana
Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
Stanley, go to meeting room. Cari meeting room. Enggak ada orang. Kita buka pintunya. Meeting room.
When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left.
The door in left. Kita ke kiri, disuruh narator ke kiri guys, ikutin aja. Cuman kan nutup lagi pintunya. Sepi guys.
Yet there was not a single person here either. Feeling a wave of disbelief, Stanley decided to go up to his boss's office, hoping he might find an answer there.
Disuruh ke tempat bosnya, suruh cek. Oke, wait. Sambil jalan ya. Nutup lagi.
Coming to a staircase, Stanley walked upstairs to his boss's office.
Oke, kita suruh ke atas. Tempat ruangan bosnya. Executive bathroom. Tutup lagi nggak tuh? Kemana nih?
Stepping into his manager's office, Stanley was once again stunned to discover not an indication of any human life. Shocked, unraveled, Stanley wondered in disbelief who orchestrated this, what dark secret was being held from him. What he could not have known was that the keypad behind the boss's desk guarded the terrible truth that his boss had been keeping from him. And so the boss had assigned it an extra secret PIN number. 2845. But of course, Stanley couldn't possibly have known this. Yet incredibly, by simply pushing random buttons on the keypad, Stanley happened to input the correct code by sheer luck. Amazing. He stepped into the newly opened passageway.
Kemana nih? Gelap banget. Oke, disuruh turun.
Descending deeper into the building, Stanley realized he felt a bit peculiar. It was a stirring of emotion in his chest, as though he felt more free to think for himself, to question the nature of his job. Why did he feel this now, when for years it had never occurred to him? This question would not go unanswered for long.
Kok gelap? Mana nih? Bentar ya, kok gelap banget?
Stanley walked straight ahead through the large door that read Mind Control Facility.
Wih, gelap wih. Bentar deh, kok gelap banget. Lah. Gelap banget, bos.
The lights rose on an enormous room packed with television screens. What horrible secret did this place hold? Stanley thought to himself. Did he have the strength to find out?
Ruangan apakah ini?
Now the monitors jumped to life, their true nature revealed. Each bore the number of an employee in the building, Stanley's co-workers. Lives of so many individuals reduced to images on a screen, and Stanley, one of them, eternally monitored in this place where freedom meant nothing. This mind control facility, it was too horrible to believe. It couldn't be true. Had Stanley really been under someone's control all this time? Was this the only reason he was happy with his boring job? That his emotions had been manipulated to accept it blindly? No. He refused to believe it. He couldn't accept it. His own life in someone else's control? Never. It was unthinkable. Wasn't it? Was it even possible? Had he truly spent his entire life utterly blind to the world? But here was the proof. The heart of the operation. Controls labeled with emotions. Happy or sad or content. Walking, eating, working, all of it monitored and commanded from this very place. And as the cold reality of his past began to sink in, Stanley decided that this machinery would never again exert its terrible power over another human life. For he would dismantle the controls once and for all.
Kemana lagi nih? Main control, ideal awaiting input. Sumpah gelap banget game ini. Halo Bang Edan. Bentar guys. Gak ada settingannya lagi ya, gelap banget.
And when at last he found the source of the room's power, he knew it was his duty, his obligation, to put an end to this horrible place and to everything it stood for.
Kenapa ini?
Blackness and a rising chill of uncertainty.
Oi.
Was it over? Yes. He had won. He had defeated the machine, unshackled himself from someone else's command. Freedom was mere moments away. And yet, even as the immense door slowly opened, Stanley reflected on how many puzzles still lay unsolved. Where had his co-workers gone? How had he been freed from the machine's grasp? What other mysteries did this strange building hold? But as sunlight streamed into the chamber, he realized none of this mattered to him. For it was not knowledge or even power that he had been seeking, but happiness. Perhaps his goal had not been to understand, but to let go. No longer would anyone tell him where to go, what to do, or how to feel. Whatever life he lives, it will be
perusahaan yang di tempat kerjanya dia itu
it was perhaps
ada yang ngontrol seseorang. Nah ini belum tahu kita.
Stanley stepped through the
kok ada kayak tadi main control gitu-gitu. Nah kita ini nemu ending kayaknya nih. Ending yang bikin kita keluar dari perusahaan itu. Nah,
Stanley felt the cool breeze upon his skin, the feeling of liberation, the immense possibility of the new
kalau Stanley ini kayak dia di satu ruangan,
right now,
terus tugasnya gitu-gitu aja di ceritanya.
and Stanley was happy.
Happy ending ending yang ini. Soalnya lihat di review-reviewnya katanya banyak endingnya. Kita coba ending lain. Ini kan balik lagi. Pernah lihat di YouTube ada ending yang istilahnya cepet. Jadi kita nggak usah kemana-mana, kita tunggu aja di sini. Tunggu di komputer. Kita coba. Apakah bisa endingnya? Itu detiknya masih jalan. Sabar guys, kita tunggu masih. Gila, budak korporat banget. Kerja di ruangan kayak gini doang. Ada rhythm apa aja bang? Coba cek itu, cek store bang Dias. Ini aku coba suruh itu yang lainnya. Coba cek store. Ada salah satu itu rhythm ngopi. Karena aku lagi off cam, lagi sebat, jadi nggak bisa nunjukin. Aslinya kita tuh bisa, aku nih kalau misalnya di rhythm kopi, ya ngopi di depan kalian gitu. Cuman jangan sering-sering ya kalau lagi nyala ya. Kembung. Mah kambuh. Itu ada rhythm breed, telolet, lanjut, ngopi. Kok nggak mau ya? Tunggu lagi, sabar. Semangat terus Pak Edan. Wah, lu welcome Gaming Jam ID. Welcome. Makasih udah mampir. Beneran disuruh ngopi gak tuh? Ini ngopi nih, ada suara ini nih, gelas. Nih. Aku ngopi. Lagi sebat, makanya aku off kamera. Kok lama ya? Pas nunggu sampai 11:30. Tunggu dulu. Sabar guys, sabar. Baru ketemu satu ending nih, nyoba ending yang ini. Yang katanya ending tercepat. Baru masuk dari kagetin teriak ayam gak tuh? Apaan dia? Oh. Ntar sabar guys, sabar. Bang Re nggak live lagi kah? Masih menunggu guys. Kurang 3 menit lagi. Sabar. Kalau nggak kita room tour ruang kerjanya dia. Kita pekerja nomor 427. Oh, ini ada ini. Ada mok kopi juga nih. File lampunya cuma satu, nggak tuh nyorot kayak gini. Ini nih serutan pensil yang pakai otomatis nih, dinamo nih. Keren banget, di kantornya ada. Kurang 2 menit lagi. Itu komputer Pentium berapa bang? Pentium 2 nih kayaknya nih. Nggak ada mouse-nya, pakai DOS kayaknya. Itu command prompt. Kurang 1 menit lagi. Sabar. Sisa beberapa detik lagi. Ditunggu.
Stanley stood for a long time in one spot. It's part of a game. He likes to see how long he can go without dying. So far, he's doing excellent. And if he just stays right where he is, I'm sure he'll keep up that good momentum. Let's observe the genius at work.
Terus apa ini? Terus apa ini? Udah kah? Udah kah ini? Tungguin dulu deh. Tungguin lagi ya. Sabar ya. Habis ini nyoba ending yang itu. Tadi kan kita salah satu milih antara off atau on. Kita coba ke on ini. Gimana lanjutannya? Tunggu yang ini dulu. Naratornya nggak ngomong-ngomong nih. Sampai jam berapa nungguin? Lumayan lama ya. Apa langsung nyoba ending itunya ya? Cuman takutnya udah nunggu lama gini sia-sia nanti. Ayo narator ngomong, wih. Narator. Narator. Narator nggak ngomong. Udah selesai ya. Saving dulu ya. Masih belum. Kaget. Bang Dias. Ampun. Ngopi lagi ya, ngopi siap. Lama-lama mahal nih. Jahat kali Bang Dias. Bentar ya Bang, sabar. Aku mau nungguin ending yang ini nih. Kita diam di ruangan. Soalnya pernah aku sekali lihat YouTube game-game tercepat, ending tercepat. Ini salah satunya Stanley Parable. Jadi kita disuruh nunggu di sini aja. Cuman kok nggak itu ya. Ini mah bukan cepet. Sumpah lama. Kenapa sih kaget mulu? Emang sengaja dibuat kaget. Ridem-ridemannya. Coba ridem lanjut. Nanti ada sesuatu yang keluar. Ridem lanjut.
Lanjut.
Nah lo, disuruh lanjut. Sama siapa tuh? Suruh lanjutin, suruh nunggu. Najis. Disuruh lanjut tuh, suruh nungguin tuh. Sabar, disuruh sabar. Sengaja sih. Ini udah nunggu berapa menit nih? Lumayan ya. Narator nggak ngomong lagi. Nggak bisa nutup pintu. Oh.
But Stanley simply couldn't handle the pressure. What if he had to make a decision? What if a crucial outcome fell under his responsibility? He had never been trained for that. No. This couldn't go any way except badly. The thing to do now, Stanley thought to himself, is to wait. Nothing will hurt me. Nothing will break me. In here I
Coba
can be
ridem yang
happy
lain.
forever. I will be happy. Stanley waited. Hours passed, then days. Had years gone by? He no longer had the ability to tell. But the one thing he knew for sure, beyond any doubt, was that if he waited long enough, the answers would come. Eventually, someday, they would arrive. Soon, very soon now, this will end. He will be spoken to.
Kaget.
He will be told what to do.
Bang Dias.
Now it's just a
Woi,
little
emak
bit
gue.
closer. Now
Suruh
it's
ngopi
even
mulu.
closer. Here it comes.
Dah. Buset. Ini lebih mantap. Sengaja ya. Disuruh itu terus. Nah, udah dapat ending kedua. Ampun Bang Dias, ampun. Coba kita cari ending lagi.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean?
Langsung
Stanley
gas.
decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
Nabrak. Langsung gas ke tempat tadi main control facility.
When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left.
Meeting room.
Yet there was not a single person here either.
Topless,
Feeling
do
a wave
unbelievably
of
amazing work all the
disbelief,
time, every
Stanley
day with
decided to go
application of
up to his
promotion of
boss's
don't get
office,
fired.
hoping he might find an answer there.
Oke. Dikasih. Ntar yang keluar Angelica Simperler. Ya udah, iya Bang Dias, udah cukup.
Coming to a
Kubuang
staircase,
kopinya ntar lagi.
Stanley walked upstairs to his boss's office.
Suruh ngopi mulu, tapi nggak apa-apa sih, biar melek. Kita
Stepping into his
lanjut.
manager's office,
Langsung dah gas
Stanley
dah.
was once again stunned to
Berapa
discover
tadi?
not an indication of any human life.
2045
What could it
kalau nggak salah.
mean? Stanley wondered aloud
bukan.
to
Berapa?
nobody. He began wildly tearing through papers on the boss's desk,
Berapa tadi kode?
pulling books off the shelf, looking behind paintings, desperate for clues to his situation. But his attention was
jangan
caught
kaget
by
lagi,
a
lempar juga nih
keypad
HP kalau
behind
kaget.
the boss's desk. What could its purpose be? In fact, this keypad guarded the terrible secret that lay buried below his feet. And so the boss had assigned it an extra secret PIN number,
Berapa?
2845.
Oh, 2845.
But of course, Stanley couldn't possibly have known this.
2845.
Yet incredibly, by simply pushing random buttons on the keypad, Stanley happened to input the correct code by sheer luck.
Ayo kita
Amazing.
nyoba
He
ending
stepped into
ketiga.
the newly opened passageway.
Ke tempat yang tadi, ke main control facility. Kita coba pilih on gimana endingnya. Welcome. Thank you udah mampir. Jangan lupa like-nya ya sama subscribe. Udah nyampe. Gelap banget sumpah nih game.
Stanley walked straight ahead through the large door that read
Kita masuk sini lagi.
Mind Control Facility.
Tutup lagi nggak?
The lights rose on an enormous room packed with television screens. What horrible secret did this place hold? Stanley thought to himself. Did he have the strength to find out?
Apaan tuh sekali lagi, Bang Dias Raga?
Now the monitors jumped to life, their true nature revealed. Each bore the number of an employee in the building. Stanley's lives of so many individuals reduced to images on a
Bangke
screen.
Bang Dias Rangga.
One of them
Iya, ngopi.
monitored in
Dia
this
ngomong
place.
sekali lagi karena mau
Freedom
ridem
meant
ngopi dia.
nothing.
Ampun. Udah.
This mind control facility, it was too horrible to believe. It couldn't be true. Had Stanley really been under someone's control all this time? Was this the only reason he was happy with his boring job? That his emotions had been manipulated to accept it blindly? No, he refused to believe it. He couldn't accept it. His own life in someone else's control? Never. It was unthinkable, wasn't it? Was it even possible? Had he truly spent his
mau ridem
entire
ngopi
life
lagi Bang
utterly
Re.
blind to the world?
Masih cooldown guys.
But here was the proof.
Sumpah
The heart of the
bentar lagi.
operation. Controls labeled with emotions.
Tadi kemana dah?
Happy or
Oh,
sad
ya, kesana.
or content. Walking, eating, working. All of it monitored and commanded from this very place. And as the cold reality of his past began to sink in, Stanley decided that this machinery would never again exert its terrible power over another human life. For he
tadi kita kan
would dismantle the controls once
mencet off
and
ini.
for all.
Terus ternyata kita keluar dari perusahaan ini di ending yang pertama. Terus yang kedua tadi kita endingnya tetap diam di dalam ruangan. Nah kalau yang on ini apa nih endingnya?
Oh, Stanley, you didn't just activate the controls, did you? After they kept you enslaved all these years, you go and you try to take control of the machine for yourself. Is that what you wanted? Control?
Kenapa nih?
Oh, Stanley, I applaud your effort, I really do. But you need to understand, there's only so much that machine can do. You were supposed to let it go, turn the controls off, and leave.
Disuruh mencet off, nggak ngomong dari tadi bos. Cuman kalau mencet off lagi kan balik lagi.
I'm afraid you don't have nearly the power you think you do. For example, and I believe you'll find this pertinent, Stanley suddenly realized he had just initiated the network's emergency detonation system. In the event that this machine is activated without proper DNA identification, nuclear detonators are set to explode, eliminating the entire complex. How long until detonation then? Let's say 2 minutes.
Wait.
Now this making things a little more fun, isn't it, Stanley? It's your time to shine. You are the star. It's your story now. Shape it to your heart's desires. Oh, this is much better than what I had in mind. What a shame we have so little time left to enjoy it. Mere moments until the bomb goes off. But what precious moments each one of them is. More time to talk about you, about me, where we're going, what all this means. I barely know where to start. What's that? You'd like to know where your co-workers are? A moment of solace before you're obliterated. All right, I'm in a good mood. You're gonna die anyway. I'll tell you exactly what happened to them. I erased them. I turned off the machine. I set you free. Of course, that was merely in this instance of the story. Sometimes when I tell it, I simply let you sit there in your office forever, pushing buttons endlessly and then dying alone. Other times, I let the office sink into the ground, swallowing everyone inside, or I let it burn to a crisp. I have to say this, though, this version of events has been rather amusing. Watching you try to make sense of everything and take back the control wrested away from you, it's quite rich. I almost hate to see it go. But I'm sure whatever I come up with on the next go-around will be even better. My goodness, only 34 seconds left. But I'm enjoying this so much. You know what? To hell with it. I'm going to put some extra time on the clock. Why not? These are precious additional seconds, Stanley. Time doesn't grow on trees. Oh dear me, what's the matter, Stanley? Is it that you have no idea where you're going or what you're supposed to be doing right now? Or did you just assume when you saw that timer that something in this room was capable of turning it off?
Incorrect,
I mean, look at you, running from button to button, screen to screen, clicking on every little thing in this room. These numbered buttons, no, these colored ones, or maybe this big red button, or this door. Everything, anything, something here will save me. Why would you think that, Stanley? That this video game can be beaten? Won? Solved? Do you have any idea what your purpose in this place is? Stanley, you're in for quite a disappointment. But here's a spoiler for you. That timer isn't a catalyst to keep the action moving along. It's just seconds ticking away to your death. You're only still playing instead of watching a cutscene because I want to watch you for every moment that you're powerless. To see you made humble. This is not a challenge.
Bang Edan nggak ikut Bang Remen Valo.
You
Wah
wanted
enggak,
to control this world, that's fine. But I'm going
kena
to
mental
destroy
ya
it
nanti.
first,
Main
so
Valo.
you can't.
Pilih lampu yang terang kayaknya. Dan dia tadi pilih lampu yang terang.
That's 30 seconds you have left to struggle.
20 goodbye employee 42.7. Bodoh amat mati lah.
Just you being blown to pieces. Will you cling desperately to your frail life, or will you let it go peacefully? Another choice. Make it count, or don't. It's all the same to me, all a part of the journey. And believe me, I will be laughing at every second of your inevitable life from the moment we fade in until the moment I say happily ever up.
Mati. main Valo kena mental saya, Bang Dias. Masih nyuk. Balik lagi dari awal. Berarti tadi udah ketemu ending ketiga ya. Ya, kita coba lagi cari ending yang lain.
Even now, Stanley's office was
Jangan
a
ke
distant
tempat yang tadi lagi
memory.
deh, bingung
What
nggak
did
sih?
it look like?
Kode.
There was a computer, perhaps, and a painting. Was it a painting or a photo? He could no longer recall.
Oh iya, tadi kan ada itu ya, pas di mana pilihan pintu, kita coba ke pintu kanan deh. Nah,
When
ini.
Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left.
Coba ke kanan.
This was not the correct way to the meeting room, and
Yep.
Stanley knew it perfectly well. Perhaps he wanted to stop by the employee lounge first, just to admire it. Yes, truly a room worth admiring. It had really been worth the detour after all, just to spend a few moments here in this immaculate, beautifully constructed room. Stanley simply stood here, drinking it all in.
Drinking it all in. Gimana caranya?
Yes, really, really worth it being here in the room. A room so utterly captivating that even though all your co-workers have mysteriously vanished, here you sit looking at these chairs and some paintings. Really worth it.
Apa kita coba jalan aja terus?
At this point, Stanley's obsession with this room, but at last he'd had enough of the amazing room and took the first open door on his left to get back to business.
Ke kiri, kita lurus. Coba lurus dulu deh.
Stanley was so bad at following directions, it's incredible he wasn't fired years ago.
Siang, dikatain. Jelek kalau udah suruh ngikutin perintah. Bodoh amat. Tutup sih. Woi, buka. Coba kita ke... Oh, itu ada pintu kebuka tuh, kemana dia? Warning, do not jump from the cargo lift while it is in motion. Will close this. Iya. Sama denda-dendanya kalau jatuh.
Look, Stanley, I think perhaps we've gotten off on the wrong
Itu di
foot
bawah
here.
ada itu deh.
I'm not your
Pintu
enemy,
kebuka.
really, I'm not. I realize that investing your trust in someone else can be difficult, but the
Coba
fact is that
ikutin
the
yang dulu deh.
story has been about nothing but you all this time. There's someone you've been neglecting, Stanley. Someone you've forgotten about. Please, stop trying to make every decision by yourself. Now, I'm not asking for me, I'm asking for her.
Huh? I'm asking for her.
This is it, Stanley. Your chance to redeem yourself. To put your work aside. To let her back into your life. She's been waiting.
Mati, kaget anjir.
That's her, Stanley.
Sumpah.
You need to be the one to do this. To reach out to her. If you can truly place your faith in another, then pick up the phone.
Iya. Kaget anjir.
Oh, Stanley, is that you? Hold on, sweetie. Sorry to keep you waiting. I'm just pulling the bread out of the oven. All right. Okay, there we go. All right, now, I want you to come in and tell me all about your day.
Anjir.
Gotcha. Oh, come on. Did you actually think you had a loving wife who'd want to commit their life to you? I'm trying to make a point here, Stanley. I'm trying to get you to see something. Come inside. Let me show you what's really going on here.
Kaget. Bini aneh jadi manek.
This is a very sad story about the death of a man named Stanley.
Good morning everybody. Press O on your keyboard. Okay. Oh, 0.
Stanley is quite a boring fellow. He has a job that demands nothing of him, and every button that he pushes is a reminder of the inconsequential nature of his existence.
Press I.
Look at him there, pushing buttons, doing exactly what he's told to do. Now he's pushing a button. Now he's eating lunch. Now he's going home. Now he's coming back to work. One might even feel sorry for him, except that he's chosen this life.
Press
But in
A.
his mind, he can go on fantastic adventures.
Serem
From
banget
behind
dari
his
penokin.
desk, Stanley dreamed of
Kaget
wild
juga
expeditions into the unknown, fantastic discoveries of new lands. It was wonderful. And each day that he returned to work was a reminder that none of it would ever happen to him.
Press X to watch TV. X.
And so he began to fantasize about his own job. First, he imagined that one day while at work, he stepped up from his
mejanya dia
desk
tadi,
to
kan?
realize that all of his co-workers, his boss, everyone in the building had suddenly vanished off the face of the earth. The thought excited him terribly.
Please press 6 to spend time with the boys.
So he went further. He imagined that he came to two open doors and that he could go through either. At last, choice. It barely even mattered what lay behind each door. The mere thought that his decisions would mean something was almost too wonderful to behold.
Press 6 to prepare dinner.
As he wandered through this
Bodoh,
fantasy
berubah
world,
terus.
he began to fill it with many possible paths and destinations. Down one path lay an enormous round room with monitors and mind controls. And down another was a yellow line that weaved in many directions. And down another was a game with a baby. And he called it the Stanley Parable.
Press X to tell your kid a story.
It was such a
Anak
wonderful
gimana?
fantasy, and so in his head he relived it again, and then again, and again, over and over, wishing beyond hope that it would never end, that he might always feel this free. Surely there's an answer down some new path, mustn't there be? Perhaps if he played just one more time.
Please press 0 to tell your wife you love her. Nah kalau manakin gini, iya dah ikutin dah. Please 0. Oh.
But there is
oh,
no
oh.
answer.
Bodoh
How
amat.
could there possibly be? In
Jadi-
reality,
jadi
all
ruang
he's doing is
kantornya lagi
pushing the
nggak tuh?
same buttons he always has. Nothing has changed. The longer he spends here, the more invested he gets, the more he forgets which life is the real one.
Satu lagi enak nggak bayaran? bebas serah dah. Terserah dah Bang Dias.
And I'm trying to tell him this, that in this world he can never be anything but an observer, that as long as he remains here, he's slowly killing himself. But he won't listen to me. He won't stop. Here, watch this. Stanley, the next time the screen asks you to push a button, do not do it.
Please press 6 to be at work in the morning. Bodoh amat, pencet terus.
You see? Can he just not hear me? How can I
Balik
tell him in a
lagi.
way that he'll understand that every second he remains here, he's electing to kill himself? How can I get him to see what I see? How can I make him look at himself? I suppose I can't, not in the way I want him to. But I don't make the rules. I simply play to my intended purpose, the same as Stanley. We're not so different, I suppose.
Ini game suruh ngapain
I'll
sih?
try once more to convey all this to him. I'm compelled to.
Jadi
I
ceritanya
must.
game ini
Perhaps.
kita ini jadi pekerja
Maybe
nomor
this time we'll
427
see.
ini. Nah,
Maybe
di suatu
this
hari
time.
tiba-tiba kok kantor kosong.
And I tried again.
Please
And
die.
Stanley pushed a button. And I tried again. And Stanley pushed a button. And I
Mati, udah selesai dong. Nah itu tiba-tiba suatu hari kok pada kosong, dia bingung. Dan cari tahu lah kok kantor kosong gitu. gitu. Cuman di kantor ini emang yang ending pertama itu tadi jelasin, kita ini kayak diawasin sama seseorang di itu tadi kan ada ruangan yang full CCTV, achievement unachievable, di ruangan CCTV itu loh. Kaget anjir. Bang Dias timing ya, cocok kali timingnya Bang Dias. Nah terus di sini nih gamenya banyak ending, kita suruh cari ending satu-satu gitu. Udah dapat berapa berarti? Satu, yang pertama yang good ending, kita keluar dari perusahaan ini. Kedua, kita diam di tempat. Terus ketiga, kita yang tadi mati karena mencet tombol on. Satu kali lagi. udah Terus yang keempat barusan itu yang kita nggak ngikutin perintah. Ya coba lagi ya. Ending selanjutnya kita dapat
All of
apa?
his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
Kayak ghost bump ya.
When
Balik
Stanley
lagi ke
came
kanan.
to a
Kayaknya
set
soalnya
of two
tadi
open
di
doors,
kanan
this was
pintunya
not
masih
the
banyak
correct
yang
way to the
bisa
meeting room,
yang
and
kebuka.
Stanley knew it perfectly well. Perhaps he wanted to stop by the employee
speedrun,
lounge
speedrun.
first, just to admire it. Wow, yes, this room. But eager to get back to business, Stanley took the first open door on his left.
Ini pintu. Itu kayaknya ke meeting room lagi deh. Kita coba aja namanya.
And so he detoured through the maintenance section, walked straight ahead to the opposite door, and got back on track.
Kalau balik lagi ke sana kan endingnya sama nanti. Coba kita ke sini deh, lift. Kita menjadi anak pegawai yang bandel, yang susah dibilangin.
But Stanley didn't want to go back to the office. He wanted to wander about and get even further off track. So now in order to get back, he needed to go,
Kemana nih?
from here it's, left.
Yakin ke left? Gak ada pintu lagi, ya dah ikut dah.
Oh, no.
Oh,
No,
jancuk
it's to the
kaget.
right, my mistake.
Fuck.
No,
Anjir,
not the
kaget.
right. Why would I have ever said it was to the right? What was I thinking? It's
Bodoh
clearly...
amat.
Oh,
Narator.
hold on for a minute, please.
Baca dulu skripnya, baca.
Now, let's see. We went down right, left, down, left, right. Yep, okay, yes. I've got it now. This story is absolutely, definitely this way.
Terus ada mobil. Ke bawah kah? Ya ke bawah ya. Kayaknya semakin horor deh. Horor kah? Nah, lu balik ke sini. Ini tadi ini kita tuh kayak diawasin.
No. This isn't right at all. You're not supposed to be here yet. This is all a spoiler. Quick, Stanley, close your eyes. Okay. We just have to get
Oke,
back
disuruh
to,
close your eyes.
Who am I kidding? It's all rubbish now. The whole story
Nggak tahu nih,
completely unusable.
genrenya nih thriller
apa
apa cuma apa roleplay,
the game from the beginning. And this
roleplay
time, suppose we
RPG atau
don't wander
itu
so far off track.
atau
Okay,
horor ya?
from the
Nggak paham
top.
soalnya. Lah, udah dapat ending lagi berarti. Ending kelima. Bantu inget-inget ya, udah ending kelima lewat mana aja tadi. Oke, kita lanjut.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
Tahu ini ada berapa ending ya total? Ada yang bisa nyariin nggak? Berapa ending?
When Stanley... Wait.
Loh.
Wait, what? No, I restarted. I swear, I definitely restarted the game over, completely fresh. Everything should be... What did
Save dulu.
change? Stanley, did you change anything when we
Berapa
were
ending
back in
emang
that
itu?
room
Nggak
with
tahu.
all the monitors?
Endingnya
Did
ada
you
berapa?
move the story somewhere or... Hold on. Why am I asking you? I'm the one who wrote the story. It was right here just a minute ago.
Terserah
I know
kamu
for
aja
sure
lah.
that it's here
Narator.
somewhere. Okay then, it's an adventure. Come Stanley, let's find the story.
Oh, disuruh cari story sendiri kita. Oke. Kemana enaknya? Tadi kan di kanan itu masih ada pintu lagi ya. Coba kita ke kanan lagi deh. Ada pintu lagi, seingatku. Kebuka semua pintunya. Wait, what? Lewat mana tuh tadi ke itu?
I'll say it. This is the worst adventure I've ever been on. I can promise you there definitely was a story here before. Do we need to restart the game again?
No.
I find it unlikely that we'll ever progress by starting over and over again, but it's got to be better
iya
than
ya.
this. Okay, let's give it a shot. Why not?
Balik lagi tuh. Kita mau ending ke-6. 1, 2, 3, 4. Iya ke-6. Disuruh ngulang gak tuh? Sial.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
Kebuka gak? Gak ada pintunya malah.
Okay, yep, it's worse. I might be remembering this wrong.
Ngeselin
It's possible
naratornya
the
ya.
story is back where we
Tak
just
bakar
came
kalau
from.
ketemu.
Why don't we go back the other direction and see if we missed anything?
Sialan. Dikerjain sama naratornya anjir. Suruh balik lagi gak tuh?
Aha! I knew we'd missed something. The story. Here it comes.
Lah, ini kan seharusnya ruangan kita tadi di sini. Kok berubah?
No, wait. Never mind. Not the story. Okay, let's head back the other way and retrace our steps.
Bodoh amat. Lah, berubah lagi. Oh.
Now this... Well, I'll be honest. I don't recognize this place at all. Is this the story? I don't think so. I can't quite recall, but I believe my story took place in an office building. Is that correct?
Bodoh amat.
Do you remember, Stanley? Well, do you know what? Since I've completely forgotten what we were supposed to be doing, how about this? You win! Congratulations! I know you put in a lot of hard work, and it really paid off. So, good job. Oh, no. I don't feel right about this at all. We both know you didn't put in any actual work for that win. Some people win fair and square, and this was not one of those situations. Okay? I'm getting weirded out by whatever this place is. I don't care what might happen this time. I have to restart.
Bodoh. Ending ke-7. Ingat-ingat ya, ending ke-7. Ending ke-7. Ada guide-nya sekarang.
All right, I've got a solution. This time, to make sure we don't get lost, I've employed the help of the Stanley Parable Adventure Line.
Enggak
Just follow the line. How simple is that?
Nggak mau. Cuma tetap ya. Nggak ada pintunya. Padahal tadi yang di kanan masih ada pintu tadi. Ingat banget. Pamit dulu Bang Edan. Oh iya, thank you Bang Dias. Nanti Bang Edan mah kalau aku di sini. Kenapa tuh? Nanti Bang Edan mah kalau aku di sini. Iya, jadi mah saya. Thank you ya dia sudah mampir.
You see, the line knows where the story is. It's over in this direction. Onward, Stanley, to destiny. Though, here's a thought. Wouldn't wherever we end up be our destination, even if there's no story there? Or to put it another way, is the story of no destination still a story? Simply by the act of moving forward, are we implying a journey such that a destination is inevitably conjured into being via the very manifestation of the nature of life itself? Okay, Stanley, I need to follow this train of thought for a minute. Just stick with me. Now, we can both agree that the nature of existence is in fact a byproduct of one's subjective experience of that existence, right? Okay. Now, if my experience of your existence rests inside of your subjective experience of this office, is this office, in fact, the skeleton of my own relative experiential mental subjective construct? Whoa. Hang on. That got a bit weird back there. Well, I'd like to apologize. Not sure where I was going with all that. You know what? I think what we need right now is a bit of music to lighten the mood.
Bentar nih, copyright nggak nih? Kencang banget suara musiknya anjir. Kencang banget suara musiknya. Bentar. Mulai ngeselin. Monthly reggae, corporate imbalance, annual review, consolidation data. Oh, ruang berkas. Departemental. Disuruh muter-muter. Kok ada bedanya? Bentar. Dah, kocak. Bisa begitu jalan.
Wait, cut the music. Go back and look at that fern. Wait, what? We're back at the office? No. Line, you do know we're looking for the Stanley parable, right? The story? Is any of this ringing a bell?
Pusing anjir. Narator. One by one yuk. Kesini lagi loh.
No, not again. Line, how could you have done this to us? And after we trusted you, after everything we've been through, you... No, I can't take this anymore. To hell with it. Restart.
Ending ke-8. Dikerjain sumpah. Coba di save dulu. Kita coba. Ini kan udah terlalu lanjut ya. Coba dari awal deh. Soalnya masih ada itu. Masih ada pintu. Coba ikutin pintu yang lain deh. Sialan emang naratornya.
Just a step through this door, Stanley thought to himself, that's all I need. If I can make it through this door, I can make it through them all.
Nah, masih buka, ada pintu nih.
When Stanley came to a set of 2 open, this was not the correct way to the meeting room, and Stanley knew it perfectly well. Perhaps he wanted to stop by the employee lounge first, just to admire it. The lounge was sublime, a work of art. But eager to get back to business, Stanley took the first open door on his left.
Ini kan udah masuk sini. Kalau lurus terus kan ke ruang rapat tadi. Coba ke sini.
Stanley was so bad at following directions, it's
Nah, di
incredible
situ
he
tuh ada
wasn't
pintu tuh.
5 years
Coba kita
ago.
loncat ke situ ya. Atau loncat ke bawah, mati nggak? Soalnya ada pintu kebuka juga di bawah. Coba loncat yang di bawah dulu ya.
Look, Stanley, I think perhaps we've gotten off on the wrong foot. But in his eagerness to prove that he is in control of the story and no one gets to tell him what to do, Stanley leapt from the platform and plunged to his death. Good job, Stanley. Everyone thinks you are very powerful.
Ending ke berapa tadi? Ending ke 9.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it
Coba lagi.
mean? Stanley decided to go to the
Nah, yang
meeting.
di
Perhaps he had
sampingnya dulu.
simply missed a memo.
Kita loncat. Jangan yang ke bawah, mati lagi.
When Stanley came to a set of 2 open, this was not the correct way to the meeting room, and Stanley knew it perfectly well. Perhaps he wanted to stop by the employee lounge first, just to admire it.
Ngide nggak tuh loncat kamu? Lah kan nyari ini project telolet.
Standing now in this incredible room, Stanley for the first
Kalau pengen tahu
eager to
ending
get
yang
back to
lain.
business, Stanley took the first open door on his left. Stanley was so bad at following directions, it's incredible he wasn't 5 years ago.
Coba ke pintu yang itu deh.
Look, Stanley, I think perhaps we've gotten off on the wrong foot here. I'm not your enemy, really, I'm not. I realize that investing your trust in someone else can be difficult, but the fact is that the story has been about nothing but you all this
Tinggi
time.
banget, mati nggak ya?
There's someone you've been
Mati nggak ya?
neglecting, Stanley.
Mati nggak ya?
Someone... What?
Wah.
Really? I was in the middle of something. Do you have zero consideration for others? Are you that convinced that I want something bad to happen to you? Why, I don't know how to convince you of this, but I really do want to help you, to show you something beautiful. Let me prove it. Let me prove that I'm on your side. Give me a chance.
Oh.
Now listen carefully, this is important. Stanley walked through the red door.
Disuruh naratornya ke red door. Ikutin deh, kita ikutin.
Oh, thank God you are willing to listen to me. Do you see that I really have wanted you to be happy all this time? The problem is all these choices. The two of us always trying to get somewhere that isn't here.
Anjir, muter-muter doang ini.
Running, just the way you're doing right now. Don't you see that it's killing us, Stanley?
Setan.
I wanted to stop. We would both be so much happier if we just stopped. And I think I have a solution. Here, let me show you.
Dikerjain sama naratornya anjir.
What do we want? What are we looking for?
Kok ngesel ini dengernya. Apa nih?
Here. Yes. Oh, it's beautiful, isn't it? If we just stay right here, right in this moment with this place, Stanley, I think I feel happy. I actually feel happy.
Udah, gitu dong. Coba sini. Kok berubah? Kita tunggu coba apa yang terjadi. Gini doang. Bodoh lah, tinggal aja lah.
No, wait. Where are you going?
Bodoh amat.
Oh no. Stay away from those stairs. If you hurt yourself, if you die, the game will reset. We'll lose all of this.
Bodoh amat. Bodoh amat.
Please, no, Stanley, let me stay here. Don't take this from me.
Kok gini? Oh, kita disuruh bunuh diri kah? Coba balik. Gak lucu dapat ending mati lagi.
Good. We can't be too safe. Promise me you won't go back there. Just stay here.
Sialan dong. Enggak, mau balik lagi aja dah. Kita buat naratornya kesel.
No. What did we talk about? You're risking everything we achieved here.
Bodoh lah, mati aja lah.
You heard me before, didn't you? You will die. What about this isn't getting through to you?
Bapuk yang naratornya. Kesel banget dia. Mati aja lah.
Please, Stanley, think. No!
Enggak dah.
Oh, thank God you lived. You had me worried there for a moment. Now, can we please get back to the other room? No. What are you doing, Stanley? Please, I'm asking you not to take this away from me. I can't go back to what I was before. If you die, we'll both go back. Why are you doing this? Stanley, let's go back to the other room. Can you do that for me?
No. No, narator.
My God.
No.
Is this really how much you dislike my game? That you'll throw yourself from this platform over and over to be rid of it? You're literally willing to kill yourself to keep me from being happy. Am I reading the situation correctly? Or maybe you're just getting a kick out of it. I don't know anymore.
Coba lagi.
I just wanted us to get along. But I guess that was too much to ask.
Bukan
It
naratornya
looks
kesel.
like you wanted to make a choice after all. Well, this one is yours.
Buat narator kesel.
Is it over?
Mati.
It's going to restart, isn't it? I'm going back.
Kesel naratornya. Ending keberapa nih? Ending ke-10 ya? Ingetin. Ending keberapa?
How wonderful. Stanley was alone. Finally. This is great, he thought to himself. This is what I've wanted all along. I got what I wanted.
Kok beda ya?
When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left.
Nope. Kita ke
This was
kanan
not
lagi.
the correct way to the meeting room, and Stanley knew it perfectly well. Perhaps he wanted to stop by the employee lounge first, just to admire it. Stanley felt lightheaded, butterflies in his stomach, but eager to get back to business, Stanley took the first open door on his left.
Bodoh amat.
Stanley was so bad at following directions, it's incredible he
Kita
wasn't
balik lagi ke
5
sini.
years ago. Look, Stanley, I think perhaps we've gotten off on the wrong foot here. I'm not your enemy, really, I'm not. I realize that investing your trust in someone else can be difficult, but the fact is that the story has been about nothing but you all this time. There's someone you've been neglecting, Stanley. Someone... What? Really? I was in the middle of something. Do you have zero consideration for others? Are you that convinced that I want something bad to happen to you? Why... I don't know how to convince you of this, but I really do want to help you, to show you something beautiful. Look, let me prove it. Let me prove that I'm on your side. Give me a chance. Now listen carefully, this is important. Stanley walked through the red door.
Bentar, kok tadi di pintunya ada butuh kunci? Ada nggak kunci? Tadi merah ya? Coba ke biru sekarang.
Aha, perhaps you misunderstood. Stanley walked through the red door.
Nope.
I still don't think we're communicating properly. Stanley walked through the red door.
Melawak dia. Balik biru.
All right, fine. Go ahead, Stanley. You want to know so badly what's out there? You want to find out what lies at the end of this road you've chosen? Well, don't let me stop you. You see? There's nothing here. I haven't even finished building this section of the map because you were never supposed to be here in the first place. Broken rooms, exposed developer textures. Is this what you had wanted? Was it worth ruining the entire story I had written out specifically for you? Do you not think I put a lot of time into that? Because I did. And in the end, it was all for nothing. Because this is what you wanted to see. Help me here, Stanley. Help elucidate these strange and unknowable desires of yours. What would have made this game better? What did you want to see? Vehicles? Skill trees? Work with me. You've given me absolutely nothing so far. Tell you what, let me take a stab in the dark at a new design and you can give me some feedback. There we go. A third option. This already feels leaps ahead of where we were before. Go ahead, Stanley. Take it for a spin.
Gak mau. Disuruh sini lagi nggak?
Okay, I'm going to stop you there. Now, tell me about your experience with this new version. Would you say that the game benefited from allowing you more choices? Feel free to be honest. I'm looking for some real critical feedback
Kasih
here.
berapa nih? Kasih berapa nih? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Kasih berapa? Kasih berapa? Kasih nomor berapa? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Rate-nya. Kasih nomor 1. Nomor 3.
Oh, of course. A 3. Really? Maybe next time we can get you to form an actual opinion, you know? Any level of critical thinking or engagement with your surroundings. Does that sound good? Think we can do that? Yes? Wonderful.
Kesel dia.
Here, based on the data from your previous playthrough, I've compiled a new version. And to be perfectly candid, I think I've knocked it out of the park with this one. Let's take a look.
The Stanley pada berbuat Liverpool. dia mau ngejatuhin mental dia naratornya. When that ask for him, friend is empty. Iya deh masuk deh.
Now, would you say that competitive leaderboard helped you feel motivated to keep walking through doors? Again, honest answers, please.
Kasih nomor berapa nih? 1 gak? Apa 2? Gak mau kasih yang bagus. Biar tambah kesel dia. Kasih nomor berapa? Halo? Nomor 1. Okay.
Hey, I nearly forgot. I've got a prototype of a new game I've been working on, and now would be a lovely opportunity to give it some playtesting. You wouldn't mind taking a look at it, would you? Perfect. Let me boot it up. In this game, the baby crawls left towards danger. You click the button to move him back to the right, and if he reaches the fire, you fail. It's a very meaningful game, all about the desperation and tedium of endlessly confronting the demands of family life. I think the art world will really take notice. But of course, the message of the game only becomes clear once you've been playing it for about 4 hours. So why don't you give it 4 hours of play to make sure it's effective? Be sure to keep notes on your experience.
Biarin dah.
You heartless bastard. Did you do it because you hate babies or purely to spite me? Because if it's the latter, well, I don't know what to do. I'm completely out of ideas. I can't think of a single thing that might improve the experience for me. I'm not even going to try. I'm out, I'm done. It's over. Thank you for playing. Your input was extremely valuable. Oh, hey, since my game was so awful, why don't we play someone else's game, just to ease the pain? Let's see. What do we have here? Yes, this seems like it'll work. Let's give it a shot.
Ada narator game kayak gini, anjir. Dah,
Well, Stanley, is this any better?
Kok
At
jadi
last, the
Minecraft?
one thing you've always desired. A game I had absolutely nothing to do with. But is it enough? Tell me that, Stanley. Will it ever be enough? Well, I'll say this. I'm done making things for you.
Jadi
From
Minecraft.
now on, I will only create to fulfill a greater artistic purpose. Watch this, Stanley. I'm going to build a house. This will go here, no, here, and then. Let's see, what does it need? Yes, of course, and just to finish it all off, yes, it's complete. I made this, Stanley. Look at it. Gaze upon my work of art and feel ashamed at your own inadequacy. But you've only seen it from the outside. You've only gotten half the experience. Please, step inside and make yourself comfortable.
Nggak mau.
Isn't it grand? Isn't it perfect? It could only be better if... Wait, that's it. We must rebuild it out of diamond. Diamond everything. Yes. Come along, Stanley. We have to go mining.
Suruh mining nggak tuh di Minecraft?
Oh my, it looks like it's going to get a bit dark. Have you brought a light?
Jadi main Minecraft.
Oh, no. This is far more open-ended than I had in mind. I'm looking for something more narrow and linear. Something that makes you feel utterly irrelevant. This won't do at all. 1 out of 5. Even the diamonds couldn't save this one.
Makin gelap.
Okay, new game.
Lawak naratornya.
Yes, I don't even know what this game is, but I love it. You, trapped in a glass box with no way out, listening to me talk. Oh, it's inspired. I couldn't have done it any better myself. What is this game even supposed to be? I can't figure it out. Okay, now I'm curious. Let's go find out what the hell this is.
Lama-lama ngeselin naratornya, sumpah. Mau ngapain lagi nih?
Oh, it's a puzzle. Critical thinking, Stanley. Your forte.
Nah, ini bukannya game Portal ya?
Genius.
Kayaknya iya deh, game Portal.
No, actually, you know what? I think that's plenty. I really don't care much to see you stumble through any more of these games. And I highly doubt you're any wiser for the experience. Which is why, rather than continue to waste my time, I'm just going to leave you here. You can pretend you've beaten the game if it makes it any richer for you, but as for me, I've had enough. So...
Game apa lagi nih? The Stanley Parable Alpates. Gelap. Sumpah gelap banget. Feeling kabin. Jatuh. Narator udah kesel kayaknya. Sumpah gelap banget, gak kelihatan apa-apa ya. Kemana nih? Gelap bosku. Coba save dulu.
I wonder what he found. If what he wanted was to be the leading man in his own story, well, perhaps he's gotten it. Down in wherever he is right now. I wonder if he's happy with his choice, and if he's learned the heavy cost that comes with it. He'll understand soon what I was trying to tell him. He needs me. Someone who will wrap everything up at the end, to make sense out of the chaos and the fear and the confusion. That's who I am. That is what I mean to this world. Oh, yes. Yes, I'll be back. There's no other way. Once this ends, after it all comes to a close, then I'll be back. The end will be here soon. Very soon. I can wait.
Ya, beda sekarang. Orangannya beda.
When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left. This was not the correct way to the meeting room, and Stanley knew it perfectly well. Perhaps he wanted to stop by the employee lounge first, just to admire it. The lounge was grand, majestic, perhaps, but eager to get back to business, Stanley took the first open door on his left.
Game horror, bukan kayak ini nah, game itu. Game puzzle. Ini game apa? Jadi kita itu jadi pekerja di suatu kantor. Nah, kantor itu tiba-tiba kosong melompong, tinggal kita. Nah, di jalan cerita ini banyak ending ceritanya. Butuh satu serutup kopi nggak bang? Datang lagi bang Dias. Oh, game puzzle iya, Kak Irina. Nah, terus aku baru dapet 10 ending. Masih nyari lagi nih, nyari ending-ending yang lain. Ntar aku coba lagi.
And so he detoured through the maintenance section, walked straight ahead to the opposite door, and got back on track.
Kita balik lagi ya sana. Coba turun lagi deh. Aldi. Wah, sirat. Bang, facecamnya mana bang? Jangan pakai facecam. Pada terpesona nanti.
So now in order to get back, he needed to go
Lewat mana nih?
From here it's left.
Banyak ruangannya kan ini game. Iya, kayak Rina banyak ruangannya. Jadi kita milih. Kayak milih. Aku kaget sumpah. Siap Bang dia, siap. Udah kopi udah. Jadi kita itu milih salah satu ruangan. Nah, biasanya apa? Di pintu ini nanti ketemu jalan lain, pintu yang lain ketemu jalan lain. Cuman kalau kita ngikutin naratornya dari awal, itu nanti kita langsung happy ending. Najis. Ada apa ya? Gue najis ya. Kaget saya. Emang sialan deh tadi Bang dia serangga. Bang giveaway lah Bang. Giveaway apa Bang?
Oh no, it's to the right. My mistake. No.
Dikerjain lagi sama naratornya.
Right. Why would I have ever said it was to the right? What was I thinking? It's clearly.
Lambung apa kabar? Ngopi mulu. Bubar ntar lagi.
Now let's see. We went down right, left, down.
Ini naratornya ngelawak
right.
dulu nih narator.
Yep. Okay. Yes. I've got it now. This story is absolutely, definitely this way.
Iya dah ikutin dah, ayo dah. Masih penasaran sama. Oh iya dong ini udah.
No. This isn't right at all. You're not supposed to be here yet. This is all a spoiler. Quick, Stanley, close your eyes. Okay. We just have to.
Ini salah satu endingnya nih, kayak Rina. Berarti setiap ruangan endnya beda-beda. Iya. Terpesona dari mana lah? Terpesona dari mana? Bang ganti game Bang. Game apa Bang? Rap. Mau game apa kok Bang Rap? Pamal party ayo gas. Pamal party sekarang ya. Kalau sekarang main lah kita gas nih. Bang main Sky Bang. Nggak ada di PC Sky. Apa itu game Sky?
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had
Baru
simply missed a memo.
nemu 10. Mana lagi ya? 10 ending. Nah, ini lanjutan.
When Stanley... Wait, what? No, I restarted. I swear I definitely restarted the game over completely fresh. Everything should be... Or did something change? Stanley, did you change anything when we were back in that room with all the monitors? Did you move the story somewhere or...
Mau sekarang kan?
Hold on. Why am I asking you? I'm the one who wrote the story. It was right here just a minute ago. I know for sure that it's here somewhere. Okay then. It's an adventure. Come, Stanley. Let's find the story.
Tiada. Klik sini. Balik lagi. Balik gimang.
I'll say it. This is the worst adventure I've ever been on. I can promise you there definitely was a story here before. Do we need to restart the game again?
Bodoh
Well, I
amat.
find it unlikely that we'll ever
Narator.
progress by starting over and over again, but it's got to be better than this. Okay, let's give it a shot. Why not?
Disuruh balik-balik.
All of his co-workers
Ini nih mulai
were gone.
dikerjain lagi nih
What could it
sama
mean?
naratornya.
Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
Nah kan, nggak ada pintunya.
Okay, yep, it's worse. I might be
Bang mau tahu
remembering
caranya
this
biar
wrong.
rame yang nonton sampai
It's
sebelum nggak Bang?
possible
Gimana
the
caranya
story
Bang
is
Rap?
back where we just came from. Why don't we go back the
Mau
other
pakai mod kah?
direction
Mau pakai
and
mod
see if
kah?
we missed anything?
Kalau ada dunianya auto pusing iya. Kayak Rina. Pusing saya dari tadi man. Udah berapa jam nih main ntar? Baru nemu 10 ending. 99 menit, 1,5 jam baru nemu 10. Suruh balik lagi kita. Tadi kan ini kantor kita ya, sebalik nggak berubah.
Aha! I knew we'd miss something. The
Berubah
story.
guys,
Here it comes.
dibuat
No,
muter-muter.
wait. Never mind. Not the story. Okay, let's
Kita
head
tuh
back
pakai
the
mod
other
bang,
way and
pakai cheat
retrace our
engine,
steps.
ya cheat engine, angkanya dinaikin jadi 10.000, bisa itu. Wajar orang. Ayo mabar apa Rap? Lah berubah lagi.
Now this, well, I'll be honest, I don't recognize this place at all. Is this the story? I don't think so. I can't quite recall, but I believe my story took place in an office building.
Aku
Is that
kasihan sama
correct?
karakter yang kamu pakai ini, dalam hatinya
Do you
pasti
remember,
kapan saya bisa
Stanley?
pulang.
Do you know what?
Enggak, jadi
Since I've
gini, kayak
completely
Rina.
forgotten what we
Dia
were
itu
supposed to
kayak
be doing, how about
apa ya?
this?
Kayak di
You win.
kalau di itunya ending pertama ternyata dia ini kayak di
I
itu
know
loh,
you put in a lot of
diatur
hard
sama
work,
seseorang.
but
Nah
it
kita nih
really
nyari
paid off.
seseorangnya itu loh,
Good
yang ngatur
job.
siapa. Jadi setiap employee yang ada di sini diatur, udah diawasin pakai CCTV di setiap ruangan.
You didn't put in any actual work for that win. Some people win fair and square, and this was not one of those situations. Okay, I'm getting
Naratornya rada
weirded out
ngeselin
by
emang
whatever
tadi.
this place is. I don't care what might happen this time. I have to restart.
Kalau pamela party bertiga doang, bukan party namanya bang. Lah itu aja bang, bang Rap. Apa? Itunya aja, lomba-lombanya aja kita. Gimana? The Stanley pada bilang. Nah ini nih mulai
I've got a
ngeselin nih.
solution.
Tadi udah ketemu
This
aslinya
time,
ending
to
di
make
sini.
sure we don't get
Cuman
lost,
nggak aku
I've
terusin,
employed the
capek.
help of the Stanley Parable Adventure Line.
Ngikutin line-nya
Just
ini.
follow the line.
Nggak jelas
How simple is
naratornya.
that? You see, the line knows where the story is.
Ya
It's over in this
narator,
direction.
ya.
Onward, Stanley, to destiny. Though, here's a thought. Wouldn't wherever we end up be our destination,
Naik apa?
even if there's no story there?
Ini mulai nggak jelas
Or
lagi
to put it
garisnya.
another way,
Loh.
is the story of no
Maksudnya apa suruh naik ke
destination
sini?
still a story? Simply by the act of moving forward, are we implying a journey such that a destination is inevitably conjured into being via the very manifestation of
ngeselin ya
the
narator
nature
ya.
of life
Kita
itself?
disuruh-
Whoa.
suruh
Hang on.
ngikutin.
That got a bit weird back there. Well, I'd like to apologize.
Naratornya kayaknya
Sure
nggak pernah
where I
minum
was
deh.
going with all that.
Iya kayak
You
Rina.
know what? I think what we need right now is a bit of music to lighten the mood.
Sumpah ngeselin narator ya. Kalau tadi kayak Rina dari awal ngikutin, selin sumpah. Gak jelas garisnya. Bajingan. Iya, ayo, cepet. Yang ngeselin di sini nih. Banyak itu. Ruangannya beda tuh. Tuh. Kalau kita ngikutin ini tiba-tiba nanti nyampe sini nanti. Lah. Tuh. Ngeselin ya. Shortcut ya langsung shortcut.
Wait, cut the music. Go back and look at that fern.
Balik
Wait,
lagi
what?
kita.
We're back
Tuh.
at the office? No.
Ini kantor kita tuh.
No. Line, you do know we're looking for the Stanley Parable, right?
Selin.
The story? Is any of this ringing a bell?
Aku bakar one by one sini narator. Nah, ending sini lagi. Ini CCTV-nya.
Again, Line, how could you have done this to
Ini
us?
ada satu orang
After
yang
we
ngawasin
trusted
kita.
you, after everything we've been through, you... Well, I can't take this anymore. To hell with it. Restart.
Ini garis-garis kuningnya bikin salah-salah. Kita dibuat ngulang lagi tuh. Katanya mau dibenerin.
You know what, Stanley?
La.
I say forget the adventure line. What's it ever done for us? We're intelligent people, right? Why can't we make up our own story? Something exciting, daring, mysterious. Ooh,
Halo
this
Bang
all
Reno.
sounds
Halo
perfectly doable.
William,
Why don't we
rantai
simply
balik.
start
Wah, pro
wandering in,
player
I don't know, how about
Phasmophobia
this
nih,
direction?
mampir. Nah, kita ngikutin dah pintu mana yang kebuka dah. Iya dah narator.
Now, yes, this is exciting. Just me and Stanley forging a new path, a new story. Well, it could be anything. What do you want our story to be? Go wild.
Dibuat
Use your
muter-muter kita,
imagination.
bajingan.
Whatever it might be, Stanley, I'm ready for it. No, not you again. Stanley, I'd also like to veto the line from having any role in our awesome new
Aku
story.
bakar
No lines or
naratornya.
monitor rooms. Just don't
Ini
acknowledge
game
it.
bayar kah,
We
Bang?
should be fine.
Kalau sekarang bayar, dulu sempat gratis di Epic Game. Makanya Epic Game ku lihat terus tiap minggu. Lumayan kan. Terus gimana naik kayak gini, Bos? Narator.
Ah, a choice.
Nah, ini
We
ending
get
baru
to
nih.
make a
Belum
decision.
pernah nyampe sih.
From here, the story is in our control. How important we mustn't squander the opportunity. In fact, I believe I need a minute to think here. Just walk in circles for a minute.
Bentar.
Okay, so I know that each door has to lead somewhere.
Guys,
Which means
mampir
that
ke
somewhere, the
channelnya
place where we're
temanku,
trying
guys.
to
Di sini
go,
bentar ya.
there must be a reverse door that leads.
Namanya Gaming Jam ID. Mampir. Bantu subscribe sama like. Bentar, guys. Mampir sini, guys. Aku kasih linknya, guys. Bantu subscribe sama like juga ya.
And that
Lagi
in
party
turn
Valorant
means that our destination corresponds with the
Disuruh
counter-inverted
muter-muter gitu,
reverse door's origin. So starting from the right, let us ask, will taking the right door lead us to where we're going? And since the answer is clearly yes, then by all accounts, the door on the right is the correct one. Another victory for logic. Come, Stanley, our destiny awaits.
Squid Game versi puzzle tapi nggak dapet uang. Iya. Apa nih? The Confusion Ending.
Oh, hold up, what's this? The
Oh,
confusion ending. You're telling me that's what this is? It's all one giant ending? And we're supposed to restart the game eight times? That's really how all this goes?
dikerjain sama narator
It's
sampai
all
6 kali
determined?
restart gitu.
So now, according to the schedule, I restart again. Then what? Am I
16
just supposed to
menit.
forget? Well, what if I don't want to forget? My mind goes blank simply because it's written here on this thing, wall. Well, who consulted me? Why don't I get to decide? Why don't I get a say in all of this? Is it really? No, it can't be. I don't
Oh,
want it
enggak.
to be.
Udah 17
I don't
menit.
want the game to keep restarting. I don't want to forget what's going on. I don't want to be trapped like this. I won't restart the game. I won't do it. I won't do it. I won't do it. And the timer stopped? Does that mean, did we do it? Did we break the cycle? The, whatever it is that made this schedule? How would we even know?
Ceramah terus
Will
naratornya.
someone come for us?
Cuman
Something happened?
ngeselin kayak Rina. Kalau tadi ngeliat ending sebelumnya bikin kesel emang
Okay.
di naratornya ini. Ngelawak dia. Terus emang kita bikin
I guess
kesel
now
juga.
we just wait. You know, I suppose in
Bisa
some way
bisa
that this
kita
is a kind of
pas bikin
story.
kesel
Wouldn't you
naratornya
agree?
juga sampai kesel
I'm not
banget
quite
dia.
sure if we're in the destination or the journey, though they're always saying that life is about the journey and not the destination. So I hope that's where we are right now. We'll find out, won't we? Eventually. Well, in the meantime, if you do happen to have a...
Kaget, sumpah dikira telolet. Ada yang redeem telolet, ternyata bukan. Yang ulang lagi. Bodoh amat narator.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean?
Aslinya
Stanley
masih banyak
decided to go
nih
to the meeting
itunya
room.
apa
Perhaps
endingnya.
he had
Cuman aku
simply
nggak tahu
missed a
caranya
memo.
gimana lagi endingnya.
When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors,
Ini
he
kalau
entered the
ke
door on his
endingnya
left.
yang itu pertama. Kita ngikutin naratornya.
Yet there was not a single person here either. Feeling a wave of disbelief, Stanley decided to go up to his boss's office, hoping he might find an answer there.
Itu bukan game horor. Awalnya aku kira game horor Kak Irina, tapi ternyata nggak ada. Oh iya, ke bawah belum pernah.
Coming to a
Coba ke bawah ya.
staircase, Stanley walked upstairs to his boss's office. But Stanley just couldn't do it. He considered the possibility of facing his boss, admitting he had left his post during work hours. He might be fired for that. And in such a competitive economy, why had he taken that risk? All because he believed everyone had vanished. His boss would think he was crazy.
Balik lagi.
And then something occurred to Stanley.
Dibuat looping.
Maybe, he thought to himself, maybe I am crazy. All of my co-workers blinking mysteriously out of existence in a single moment for no reason at all. None of it made any logical sense. And as Stanley pondered this, he began to make other strange observations. For example, why couldn't he see his feet when he looked down? Why did doors close automatically behind him wherever he went? And for that matter, these rooms were starting to look pretty familiar. Were they simply repeating? No, Stanley said to himself, this is all too strange. This can't be real. And at last, he came to the conclusion that had been on the tip of his tongue. He just hadn't found the words for it. I'm dreaming, he yelled. This is all a dream. Oh, what a relief Stanley felt to have finally found an answer, an explanation. His co-workers weren't actually gone. He wasn't going to lose his job. He wasn't crazy after all. He thought to himself, I suppose I'll wake up soon. I'll have to go back to my boring real-life job pushing buttons. I may as well enjoy this while I'm still lucid. So, he imagined himself flying, began to gently float above the ground. Then he imagined himself soaring through space on a magical star field, and it too appeared. It was so much fun, and Stanley marveled that he had still not woken up. How was he remaining so lucid? And then perhaps the strangest question of them all entered Stanley's head. One, he was amazed he hadn't asked himself sooner. Why is there a voice in my head dictating everything that I'm doing and thinking? Now the voice was describing itself being considered by Stanley, who found it particularly strange. I'm dreaming about a voice describing me, thinking about how it's describing my thoughts. And while he thought it all very odd, and wondered if this voice spoke to all people in their dreams, the truth was that, of course, this was not a dream. How could it be? Was Stanley simply deceiving himself, believing that if he's asleep, he doesn't have to take responsibility for himself? Stanley is as awake right now as he's ever been in his life. Now, hearing the voice speak these words was quite a shock to Stanley. After all, he knew for certain, beyond a doubt, that this was in fact a dream. Did the voice not see him float and make the magical stars just a moment ago? How else would the voice explain all that? This voice was a part of himself too. Surely, if he could just... He would prove it. He would prove that he was in control, that this was a dream. So he closed his eyes gently, and he invited himself to wake up. He felt the cool weight of the blanket on his skin, the press of the mattress on his back, the fresh air of a world outside this one. Let me wake up, he thought to himself. I'm through with this dream. I wish it to be over. Let me go back to my job. Let me continue pushing the buttons. Please, it's all I want. I want my apartment, and my wife, and my job. All I want is my life exactly the way it's always been. My life is normal. I am normal. Everything will be fine. I am okay.
Balik lagi.
Stanley
bukan tombol nih, lampu.
Please, someone wake me up. My name is Stanley. I have a boss. I have an office. I am real. Please, just someone tell me I am real. I must be real. I must be. Can anyone hear my voice? Who am I? Who am I? And everything went black.
Gak jelas naratornya.
This is the story of a woman named Mariella. Mariella woke up on a day like any other. She arose, got dressed, gathered her belongings, and walked to her place of work. But on this particular day, her walk was interrupted by the body of a man who had stumbled through town talking and screaming to himself, and then collapsed dead on the sidewalk. And although she would soon
Tiba-tiba di
turn to go
trotoar
call
nggak
for an ambulance, for just a few brief moments, she considered the strange man. He was obviously crazy. This much she knew. Everyone knows what crazy people look like. And in that moment, she thought to herself how lucky she was to be normal. I am sane. I am in control of my mind. I know what is real and what isn't. It was comforting to think this, and in a certain way, seeing this man made her feel better. But then she remembered the meeting she had scheduled for that day, the very important people whose impressions of her would affect her career, and by extension, the rest of her life. She had no time for this, so it was only a moment that she stood there, staring down at the body. And then she turned and ran.
The end is never the end. It's never the end. Udah. Lanjut besok lagi aja kali ya. Nyari ending-ending lagi. Udah mulai pusing liat ruangan. Dibalik-balik terus. Ini di save dulu. Achievementnya baru dapat apa? Click on the 5 time. Speed run kemudian sampai ramenya under 1 minute. Not including load time. You can jump and you disable it. Go outside, don't play this time for 5 years. Kalau play this time nanti duration of Tuesday. Masih 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Ada 6 achievement. Coba ganti game deh. N-nya masih banyak kayaknya yang belum di itu deh, akhirin endingnya. Ya endingnya banyak pilihannya, cuman masih banyak yang belum ku explore. Baru dapat 10. Jadi looping gitu, akhirnya ketemu apa ending baru, ketemu ending itu balik lagi kita ke ruangan yang pertama tadi. Gitu terus. Tadi ku hitung ada 10, udah 10 ending aku kayak gitu, balik. Nyoba mabar sama itu deh, Bang Ri. Bang Dota buang, nggak bisa Dota saya. Record 2 jam nih. The Stanley Parable. Ternyata game ini membuat kita belajar betapa sulitnya dari tadi kamu main game ini hanya mengulang saja. Iya, looping gaming. Aku nyoba main game itu soalnya apa? Nyoba game itu soalnya orang Indo kayaknya nggak ada yang main deh. Makanya aku pengen nyoba. kebanyakan orang luar yang main. Game apa tuh? Mau mabar Valo? Luar mana bang? Luar apaan? Luar kota. Apaan? Luar kota. Yah, mulai lagi nih. Bebas connecting platform preset. Oke. Valonya mulai error terus. Capek sama Valo. Tadi katanya main orang luar. Iya, luar kota. Luar rumah tuh banyak yang main. Tetap nggak bisa loh. Kenapa Valo saya ya? Ku end stream dulu deh guys. Coba itu dulu relock. Kalau emang itu apa? Ku restream lagi deh. Thank you yang udah nonton, udah mampir, kasih like dan subscribe-nya. Thank